On Thursday, October 2nd, the final draft of the Kahnawake Justice System Act, usually referred to as simply the Justice Act, was posted on the Kahnawake Legislative Coordinating Commission website for its final 30-day viewing. In terms of jurisdiction, this law is of historic proportions. We spoke to Justice Portfolio Chief and the Director of Justice Services for their thoughts.
We're at the end of the first phase, if you would. Hopefully, after the community has the opportunity to review the document, they'll ratify it within the next 45 days. Once that's done, then it'll be enacted by an MCR through the Mohawk Council of Kahnawake. Then we can begin on wiring the house, if you would. So there are some components that are already completed in draft form, like the transition with some of the files from the Court of Kahnawake to the Restorative Justice Program, which obviously is the basis of the whole Justice Act, to try and restore harmony back to the community rather than retribution as its founding principles. So those types of procedures, regulations, if you would need to be developed by the Justice Commission. That'll be kind of the second phase. And that'll require a transition plan and then a further implementation plan from what we have or what we know of the justice system today into what we want it to be. So that'll be the next steps.
Now we've got this structure. We now have to load it, and we now have to people it, and we now have to have the resources in order to make it function. We've got a whole lot of laws, some of which are in various states of disrepair. I don't know whether pigs that large is really still significant to us, or whether the curfew for a 16-year-old at 9 o'clock, I don't think they even go out at 9 o'clock yet. You know, they're still at home getting ready to go out. So there's a number of laws that really need a really good looking at. And you know, the thing about the Justice Act, something that's significant in the Justice Act, is that there are outside connections with it. So people, there is a reciprocity going on between outside people and with us, with our law. So there's going to have to be that recognition. So there's going to be an awful lot of knocking on doors that's going to happen in the future in order to get this really humming. We've got to be able to clean up our old laws, look to the amendments of the laws that we're seeking to amend, and we have to do them in a certain way. They have to be able to be reciprocal. People have to be able to look at them and say, that's fair.
So the input, the wordsmithing, all the nuts and bolts that went into the current design was not done by the Justice Commission, if you want. It was done by the community, the people that participated, and we have to really give them credit in maybe some of the vision they had and what they wanted to see, participation that was provided. And it's I think it's a positive thing. You know, I'd really like to thank the community members that were on the technical team, Chris Bush-Daibo, Jeremiah Johnson, Richard Nolan, and Kenneth Daibo, you know, who were selected by the community as kind of the oversight to make sure that we captured the discussions that we had in relation to developing the whole Justice Act and moving it through. So I'm hoping that the people that had participated in the initial discussions come out when the date is designated for the ratification of this by the community to kind of acknowledge themselves also in the participation that they had in moving this thing forward.